Hello, and welcome to our first episode of the 2019-2020 school year of the Byram Blitz. I'm Matthew Levy, alongside my co-pilot, Jesse Smallholtz. Jesse, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Excited to get started.
Today we will focus on three sports: field hockey, volleyball, and football, and we have an exciting interview with Cole and Nick Picca.
So we're going to start it off with some field hockey. They have a really exciting season to look forward to. They have a lot of seniors, a lot of leaders on this team that could lead to a really successful season. So let's start this off with some of the strengths that this team has. What are some of those?
We're going to look at the goalie, Catherine Eisenhower. She's a really good player, and she leads this team behind a strong, versatile team. There are a lot of players that can really play, and it's a great team dynamic. They're very close together.
Yeah, and the team dynamic is really strong in this team, and I think that's one important thing that not only field hockey, but all of these sports have to have good team dynamic, and I think that if they have that, they'll have a really successful year.
And now looking at how they're going to be this year, I think this team is very excited to embark on the season. They got a lot of seniors, a lot of experience. I think they should be okay for this year.
All right, so now we're going to transition to some volleyball. They're another team that have very high expectations for this year. So who are some of those leaders that you think will run this team and be really important?
So I'm going to take a look at the front. You got girls like Stefana Latella, Megan Lee, and Maddie Fang. They're very good up front, and they're going to win some points for Byram.
And we also have to mention Amanda Lammers. She's the quarterback of this team. She's like the Nick Picca of this team that you'll see a little later. Yeah. She's the main setter. She's the one that will control this offense, and I'm looking for her to have a really big year.
And I think this team will have a really big year.
Yeah. So now we're going to finish it off with some football. They have a lot to look forward to this year. They got a lot of stars, a lot of offensive firepower, a lot of defensive firepower. Who are some of those stars that you're looking forward to seeing this year?
So let's start. I got a lot of guys I like on this team. We're going to start at running back, Matt Weiler. He is a stud. He looks like Saquon Barkley out there to me. I think he can have a really big year if he continues to play well and not get hurt, knock on wood. And then we want to transition to who we're going to interview next, Nick and Cole Picca. Nick's going to be that leader on the quarterback position, as Jesse already referred to. And then Cole Picca is going to provide that another nice, strong voice, and I think those two will also lead the team as well. And then you got guys on that offensive line, Eli Ratson, Tommy Grigorovic, and Nick Ferrante. These three guys, plus those two others, they're going to be very good on the offensive line, and I think they can really set the tone running the football. And then for Picca outside, when they can work that play action and that spread offense, you got guys like Aaron Falto and Steven Franco. These guys are going to push the ball upfield and help the running game succeed more. And then on defense, we're going to talk about Weiler again. Him and Ryan Abitamarco in the middle will help secure the front, while those five guys in the front rush the passer.
And I might sound a little repetitive here, but let's talk about more of the strengths that they're going to have this year. One being the run game. They have a really strong offensive line. They're veterans. They've been playing this for plenty of years, and they're going to be a strong unit that I think Nick Picca is looking forward to, Matt Weiler is looking forward to, and all the offense are really looking forward to. And when they're not running the football, they have a really spread offense, which means that Nick Picca is going to let it fly. He's going to hit guys like Aaron Falto and his brother Cole Picca, and I think that's something that not all teams have, that connection, that spread offense, and I think Byram has one of the best spread offenses. And on the defensive side, they have a 3-4 offense, and they have those outside linebackers that will blitz, and I think when they get that defense going, it's going to be really dangerous.
Now, another key storyline for Byram is that they're moving from Class A to Class B, and that's a big difference because this team doesn't have to play teams like Fox Lane, who they played last year, and I think that can be a really nice advantage. But talking to this team and talking to some guys, they don't really care about that, and they're very focused on playing each and every day with the best of their ability, and they don't see it as a downgrade. They see it as the same type of level, which I don't really see. I don't think you really see, but we'll see how that their words say as we continue.
Yeah, all about it is that it's the mindset. If they have the right mindset towards it, I think with Coach Karp, I think they have the right mindset. If they just stay focused, I think
that's going to be a key storyline that we watch out for this year. And I think it starts Friday night at Fox Lane because our turf is not ready yet. So we're going to be playing Fox Lane versus Putnam Valley, and this team, inexperienced across the board. They have a new system with the triple option. We'll see if they can do their job. I think Byram Hills will be okay and get their first victory. So next up, we got the Picca brothers, Nick and Cole Picca. When I think of a QB, I think of a guy that needs to be a leader and has a pressure on him. You think of a guy, Michael Vick, he said on live TV that he, as a football player, was not one of the guys. And how do you handle that, and how do you face that challenge?
I think that the best way to handle the pressure, I guess you could say, that comes with the position is just knowing what to do when. I think that the hardest part for me was memorizing all the plays and all the blocking schemes for our front seven, which I'm very excited to run behind this year. But so once I got that down, I think it was a lot easier to lead and or be a role model for the team.
And Cole, you obviously play a big role in this team, especially because you play all three phases on this team. Why is that important to you, and how hard is that to balance all three sides?
It's everything to me. I think if I didn't play one side of the ball, or I only played one side of the ball, I feel like I wouldn't be playing to my best ability, playing to my highest potential. I love being a huge part of the team and doing everything I can do. I think we share that in common, doing everything we can possibly do. And I've always grown up, ever since I played football, that's just been what I've done. So I've gotten used to it. It's hard at times, but it's exactly what I want to be doing.
So now you guys are both seniors. You're on the top. You're almost done. You're the starting quarterback. You're the star receiver and corner. And now, when you look at the younger guys on this team, the JV guys, the varsity guys, the guys are trying to push themselves forward like you two did, what is the message you want to send to them?
I think that the message I would always try and push for is put everything you got out there. Go out of your comfort zone. The biggest thing that you can do is just make sure you're not leaving anything behind, because when you do, that's when not only you get hurt, but you regret stuff. You just lose a part of the whole experience.
I think for me, for the younger guys in the program, is to stick with it. There'll be times where it's really hard. I know as a freshman, when I first came up here and the first day of practice, it seemed like a different language. And as Coach said, that's because it is. It really is. So it's going to be hard at times, especially learning all the plays, but just keep going. I promise you it'll get easier, and you'll start to become a huge part of this football team by just getting after it every single day.
And Nick, over the past couple of years, you've sat behind the starting quarterbacks like Brett Stafford and guys like that. What message did they try to bring to you, and what do you want to pass down to the younger quarterbacks?
Oh, great question. Sitting behind two really great quarterbacks coming out of Byram Hills, as in Brett Stafford and Jack Kenny, I think that both of them were exceptional on the field, but I think it's what they brought in the locker room and how they were able to carry themselves and carry the team, as in like showing younger kids what should be done and what has to be done in order to win football games, in order to come together. So I think that's what I'm going to be focusing most on this year.
So now, Cole, you play all three phases. Last 3 years, you've been on the field a lot. No major injuries that we can see. Is there any, knock on wood, is there any major moment that really defined you as a football player?
Oh, definitely. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was my sophomore year. I was on JV, actually, and we were playing Hen Hud. It was our last game of the season.
Good game.
They were driving to win the game. Yep. They had the ball, fourth quarter, and I just remember I was tired, I was sweaty, but something came over me where I just locked in, and I thought to myself, whatever's coming, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to win. And I think I try to play like that every game, and usually by the fourth quarter, I sort of get that feeling of just, I'm going to win this football game. Like I said, I try to play like that every time I step out on the field.
Fortunately, we did come out on top 33-28.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and you guys are have a great connection on the field, and that's mostly because you guys are brothers off the field.
Yep.
You guys eat, you sleep, you live together. Is there anything hard about that, or does that just make your connection stronger?
Go ahead.
I think there's nothing hard about that at all. In fact, it's the best part about playing on the same team together is that we spent our lives together. Wherever I went, he was there. I always had someone someone next to, someone to compete with and compete against. And as I say, we've been throwing footballs. He's been throwing me passes for 17 years.
17
so
years.
we've got the greatest connection
Yeah.
in the world, which is why he should throw me the ball deep more often. But
Good on, baby. Always.
All right.
Is that what you do in the end zone when he throws it to you?
Something,
Whenever we can, whenever
something.
we can.
So, last question. We always ask this to all our interviewees. Is there one player as an athlete that you try to emulate?
For me, it is a football player named Adam Thielen. He is, some would argue, the top receiver in the NFL right now, and I love watching him play because of his technique and his attention to detail. I think he's one of the best route runners in the entire NFL, and so I watch videos on him and I kind of study him and what he does, how he gets open, and I try to do the same things he does because clearly it's working for him. So I want to be able to mirror those same techniques.
For me, it's not exactly about what's on the field or on the court in this case, because I truly do emulate my life, not just my play, but my life on Kobe Bryant. As many of you know, he has the Mamba mentality where he'll get to the gym 5 hours before a game and just hundreds and hundreds of shots. And I think that the more effort you put into this game, the more effort you put into life, the more you'll take away from it. So.
Thank you guys for coming on. Nick, we'll see you basketball season.
Yes,
Cole.
sir.
And both of you, good luck.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you guys. Appreciate it.
What an amazing interview we just saw with Nick and Cole. Their connection is really special, and I think we'll see that on the field this year. And now in our next episode, we're going to see the boys and girls soccer teams with some interviews as well, and then we focus on the girls tennis team and the swimming team. Thank you guys for listening, and go Byram. Hello. Jesse, how are we doing today?
I'm great.
Go.
So
I thought we usually do a break, so I stopped. So thank you guys for listening. We got the Picca brothers coming up next. One reaction. Oh, no, that's my thing.
Yeah, I'm not-